Started. I'm Erin. I'll be cooking or more of watching and drinking wine because my mom said she didn't prep enough. But we're gonna be watching and cooking together with my mom and my little sister Jamie over here. And we have Travis from Fox Catering, and we have Dawn from Georgia's Sweet Potato Pie Company. Wait, I feel like I said that wrong.
That was right.
That was right.
Okay, gotta make sure. So we can get started, and for anybody jumping on late, we'll just let them come on in and we'll get started. And I just want to thank you guys so much for coming. I know both of you guys are super busy with the Thanksgiving season. So thank you so much. And we'll get started. So we'll pass it off to Travis.
You are more than welcome, AJ. Love you dearly. As she said, my name is Travis. My company is Fox Catering. This is Dawn with Georgia Sweet Potato Pie Company.
Hey.
And since we are doing a holiday meal, every holiday meal needs a cocktail, of course. And since this is Kentucky, it's got to have bourbon in it. So what we're going to make is a bourbon margarita. So what you want to do first is, since we're doing it for 4 people, we're going to take about 3.5 ounces of bourbon. 2 ounces of lime juice. I'm gonna put that in there.
Wait a minute, this wasn't in my thing.
Well,
This is bonus.
This is bonus.
This is bonus
You
material.
just have to remember it. A couple of dashes of bitters.
Let me go get the market.
Just go get the bourbon.
Exactly. And I need the. Can you hand me that bowl right there? That is this is agave syrup, and all it is just like simple syrup, except it's used with agave nectar and equal parts water. So we're gonna pour about 1.5 ounces of that in there. Thank you very much. We're gonna shake it up.
So I put the bitters, the agave syrup, and what else in there?
Lime juice
So lime.
and the bourbon.
Can't get the bourbon.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get that part.
And that is it. And we're going
Thank
to.
you.
We have Tony here with us. He's helping us out in the kitchen. My lovely wife is here with us. She's going to be taking the questions. Joe is dealing with the camera. And cheers to everybody out there. And hope you guys have a happy and blessed holiday. Let's get to cooking, y'all.
Cheers.
What do you
This
think?
is really good. This is like really, really good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to sip on this so I don't forget what the goes with the pie.
This is how my mom taught me to make dressing. I love it. I think I've provided it for your family before.
I think so.
I've been making it like this for years. So we start off with our vegetables. We have our celery, our green pepper, our onions, a bit of sage, and we have scratch-made cornbread. And we combine that with some chicken stock and cream of chicken and cream of mushroom soup. So we're gonna go ahead and get our veggies on. You wanna make sure you have a nice oil.
What kind of oil are we using, Travis?
Well, for the vegetables, just to saute, I like to use olive oil.
Okay.
Later on when we do the protein, we're gonna be using a high smoke point oil, which will be your canola oil, vegetable oil.
Okay.
I like avocado oil myself. It's a little better fat for you. Okay.
Actually, because of you, I have started cooking with avocado oil.
Really?
Really
Me too.
good. Yes,
Awesome.
yes, because of you. Yes. So you're sauteing now the green
we're
peppers,
getting- that's our celery,
celery,
and we're getting our green peppers
and
in.
green peppers.
How many people do we have cooking along with us this evening? Anybody say? Is it anybody cooking along? Nobody's cooking along?
Y'all just gonna watch us? That's okay.
Okay,
Y'all
that's
just watch.
good.
That's all right. Y'all can watch it. Okay.
Not alone. We can show our abilities to chefs. We don't let y'all
Okay,
all right.
well,
We'll do it for you. We got
You
you.
can take the notes.
So he just sauteed the green pepper, the celery, and now the onion.
Well, Erica says that she's trying.
All right, Erica.
Well, if Erica has any questions, don't hesitate. If I'm going too fast, just tell me to slow down. Not a problem whatsoever.
So while you're doing that, Travis, would you like for me to start crumbling
Yes,
the cornbread?
please. You can start crumbling the cornbread for us.
Okay.
I can slide
And you
this
just put your
over here.
hands in there and just get dirty with it.
Yep. We always make sure we wash our hands beforehand.
This is
Like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do things. The only thing that you must do is your protein. You have to make sure you cook it to temperature, not to time. People will tell you, oh, cook that chicken for an hour and a half. No, cook that chicken till it's done, 165, or till it runs clear if you don't have an internal temperature thermometer.
Now, Travis, this seems like it's old school cornbread. So what's
Yes.
all in it?
You've got your AP flour, cornmeal, a couple of eggs, a little bit of mama's love.
That's that secret right there. It's that secret.
And we use buttermilk instead of whole milk. That gives it a little tang. And I don't add any sugar. I put a little bit of agave instead of sugar.
Okay.
Because I don't want it sweet. I just like to get it just a little note.
Okay.
But yeah, we don't do like a lot of people like to.
Like that sweet
Sweeten
dippy,
it up.
that
Yeah,
sweet
no,
dippy
we don't wanna
cornbread.
do that.
Yeah. Now, do you put a salt in it? You put any salt
Yes,
in
we're
it?
gonna put some salt and pepper, and we're gonna put some sage in it.
Okay. So awesome. I done crumbled my cornbread.
So we got that crumbled up. We're gonna let that go a little bit longer.
Okay.
While that's sauteing, you got that crumbled up for us. What
Yes.
we're gonna do is set that to the side for me over there.
Awesome.
We're gonna combine our chicken stock and our cream of chicken. And once you put the chicken stock and cream of chicken into the cornbread with the vegetables, it's sort of like, I mean, you don't want it runny, but you don't want it stiff either. So you have to sort of gauge it.
So we have some people saying that they're still on the bourbon part.
All right. Tell us.
Okay.
You know, me too. Me too. Travis just made me move on.
Well, the bourbon part, if you have any questions, I will make sure I get AJ the recipe for the cocktail.
But one of the questions I have for you guys, what kind of bourbon are you using? What kind of bourbon? Go in the chat and let us know. What kind of bourbon are you using? Travis, what kind of bourbon did we use?
We use Woodford.
Oh, hey.
I like
I got some
Woodford.
Crown.
Some
Yeah.
Crown, okay.
Oh, okay. Hey, whiskey,
That'll
Canadian
work.
whiskey is great.
That'll
That'll
work.
definitely work.
Okay, so we don't whisk the
We done whisk
chicken
that all
and
together.
chicken stock and
We're
the
gonna throw a little bit of salt and pepper
okay.
into our vegetables. And you can bring our cornbread back over.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
we're gonna add this to our cornbread.
So I feel like I'm your sous chef. That's what they call it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is what they call it. Add that right in.
Okay.
All right.
Do I need a spoon to mix it with?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Okay, now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and pour as you mix.
Okay. So we're just mixing the chicken broth, the cream of
Cream of mushroom
Cream
and
of
cream
mushroom.
of chicken.
Okay.
It'll start to tighten up on you, and that's good. That's what we want. That's nice.
Okay.
Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add our sage. Just a tablespoon and a half of sage. You don't want to put too much sage in. Too much sage will make your dressing, not only the appearance of it you won't care for because it'll get dark on you.
How
but
much
it can also
sage did we
get
put
bitter.
in again?
A tablespoon and a half.
Tablespoon and a half of sage, okay.
Yep. Got that all mixed up there.
And if y'all need us to slow down, just let us know.
Yep, just let us know, no problem at all. But this is Thanksgiving made easy. So that's the thing. It's not that you're going super fast, it's just not that complicated.
I think I might try this for Thanksgiving myself.
It's very easy.
So
Okay.
how does this look right here?
That looks great.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and put it in our roasting pan.
And so how many people do you think this dish right here will feed?
That will feed up to 10 to 12 people.
Wow.
Unless you got extremely, extremely hungry people. Then maybe not so much. We're gonna put just a little bit of salt over the top again. And if you can, you can mix that up for me.
Okay.
All right. Smooth it out. And that's it. That's your dressing. Into the oven we go.
And so, what are we cooking now?
We're gonna cook this on 400 for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Slide it right in there. And it is all set to go. I mean, the French call it air couvert. I mean, it's green beans.
He's showing off now. What do the French call it, Travis?
Air couvert.
He's showing off,
I
y'all.
mean, so you can make them al dente, but they don't have to be crispy. So while our beans are on, we're gonna go ahead and heat our pan up,
Okay.
and we're gonna get a little bit more of that olive oil in our pan.
And do you want? So do I need to start doing something over here?
What we're gonna do over here right now
Okay.
is I'm gonna begin to saute these,
Okay.
and you are gonna build our vinaigrette for us.
Perfect.
So what you have already is a tablespoon of Dijon mustard.
Okay.
You've got a tablespoon of agave, and you've got 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. What you want to add first is the agave.
Okay. And I was going to ask you, is it a certain order?
The reason why is because the oil doesn't like to play nice with anybody.
Okay.
So you want to add the agave and the Dijon mustard together and make an emulsion. So you
And-
want to get them already friendly together, and then you'll come behind that and slowly add the oil.
And add the oil
So
glass.
yep, you need me, I'm right over here.
Okay, I'll holler, believe me. Because remember, I'm the pie lady. I don't, this right here.
Oh, you're
I'm,
fine.
I'm out of my lane right here. So I just added the agave, and then I'm adding the oil. We're gonna mix it together. I gotta mix it together first. Feel like I'm doing something here.
You are. You're making an emulsification.
Yes. And then I'm gonna slowly add the oil. Now, what kind of oil is this, Travis? Right here, I'm putting.
Again, that's olive oil,
Oh,
extra
oh.
virgin olive oil. And we're gonna add a little bit of pepper and salt to your vinaigrette. Oh, that looks nice.
So
It's
let me
coming
ask you
together
this:
really
why is
nice.
it red?
The red, because it's made from red grapes.
Oh,
Red wine vinaigrette is made from red grapes.
okay.
And you can add a little bit more, but you see how it's coming together and it's not
Mm-hmm.
broken up, oily looking. So that means that you're bringing it all together well. So what we're doing over here is we're beginning to saute our tomatoes.
Okay.
And you want to cook them just until they blister. So you want your skillet sort of high. You don't be afraid of it. You can cook it on high heat. You won't burn them because you're gonna add some moisture to them when you put the mushrooms in. And that'll bring them right down. But you want to get that little blister on them. You want the tomatoes to basically give themselves up. So when they begin to wilt, those natural juices come out. The natural sugar. You hear it?
Oh,
That's
look
the
at
party
that.
in the back.
That's it. It's over popping.
So once they start to blister, we're gonna add our mushrooms. And you just fill the mushrooms in around the sides of it and let those continue to blister up.
Now, do I need to add any oil or anything to this, or?
No, you're good.
We good, okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Now, we have an onion here.
We have an onion there.
So, you want me to do something with that onion? I think you want me to do
Well,
something.
we're gonna finish our green beans with a little bit of red onion.
Okay.
The way we're gonna slice the onion is we're not gonna dice it, we're gonna julienne it. So what we've done is we cross cut the onion, and we left the end on,
Okay.
so it'll hold together when you cut it.
So, now we all learning together, guys. Okay, so, like this.
Yep. Okay. Back. Want to get a little
Small.
tighter? Yeah, a little smaller. Yeah. Because you want them pretty thin. There you go.
Look at me.
Like nice little ribbon. And we're gonna add these in right at the end because we don't want them to just melt away, but we want them to have a little bit of bite to them because red onions, they have a really, really nice pungent taste. When you cook them, overcook them, they sort of lose some of that bite. That's really nice. That's
Now,
perfect.
don't judge me on my cutting
No.
skills.
What you want to do is,
Now, how do I do this without cutting my fingers off?
what I usually do, I put my knuckles there and then I'll grip it like that, so it won't slide away on me. But for this purpose today, I would say you're good. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
So it slides on me when I do that, and I think I'm gonna cut my hand off.
See,
What did she say? Yeah,
She said it slides on her, so tell her the knuckle thing again.
Yeah, pull your fingers back and put your knuckles down on it, and then with your thumb and your pinky, grip the side of it.
It still be sliding. Maybe my hand's too small.
and you know what? Look, we need our fingers. So just do what I did. Just cut a little bit and leave the rest.
Cut it up until you're a comfortable point then.
Yeah, we need our fingers. Travis trying to get us cut off like the fingertips and all that stuff off. No.
Somebody said, could you do a run through one more time of what's in the vinaigrette?
The vinaigrette is just very simple. A tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a tablespoon of agave nectar, and 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, just plain old red wine vinegar. And then a little bit of salt and pepper to season it up. Then you make sure you whisk it up good, and you're all set.
You want me to add the salt and pepper? I think I added that yet.
I added a little
Oh,
bit,
you
but you
did?
can add a little bit more.
Okay. And then we just use, what kind of, you just use regular table salt?
I use kosher salt.
Kosher
I like
salt,
kosher
okay.
salt a little more than iodized salt has a yellow dye in it to prevent caking. Kosher salt doesn't. Like I said, this is not hard and fast rules. Do this. That's just what I prefer.
Okay.
So if you look over here, John, you can see that the mushrooms are starting to sweat down. The tomatoes are nice and blistered right there. So now we're going to turn that down, and we have our beans. They've got a nice rolling boil to them. And if you're nervous about your beans, you don't want to overcook them, you don't want to undercook them, just bite one. We'll let those go.
And
Just
so what should it taste like when you bite it? What should the texture be?
have a little chew to it,
Okay.
but not be too fibrous. You don't want it too fibrous.
So fibrous, like still real crunchy? Explain for us
Yeah.
layman people, what is it?
Grassy like.
Okay.
It has a sort of a grassy taste, a natural taste. But those fibers in there, I mean, you can really, when you bite down on them, I mean, like when you fell in the grass as a kid, some of the grass got in your mouth, you went,
So when you cooking your green bean, when you bite into it, if it tastes like grass, that means it's not done.
yeah,
Cook
you
it
can-
a little longer.
You can go, but now that is a preference because some people, they eat them.
Now we don't like we don't like that type of grass. No, so no, we want our green beans cooked.
I mean, right. I don't like, I like them to have a little chew, but
Yeah.
I don't like them to be crunchy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So we got these boiling. What we're gonna do now? So we're gonna blanch them. We already put them, cooking them right quick, and then what we're gonna do? We're gonna put them in a bowl of cold water because what we want to do is we want to stop the cooking process. We don't want them to go any further. So when we incorporate them into the green beans,
Okay.
what's gonna happen is they're gonna want to continue to cook because the green beans and the tomatoes are already hot.
Yeah.
So we want to stop them from cooking now, so when they come together then, they may warm through a little bit, but they'll be fine, they won't
Okay.
overcook
So we're
them.
about to blanch them. Okay.
Well, we already blanched them, we're about to put them in an ice bath.
Oh, okay.
The blanching is just a quick boil of them.
So blanching is a quick boil.
Yep.
Now we're about to put them in an ice bath.
Yep, now we're about to put them in an ice
I
bath.
thought this was Thanksgiving made easy.
This is easy. This is as easy as it gets. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry.
I done learned about blanch and quick baths and all. Okay, yeah.
I mean, but you see right now, we've already got one item in.
Everybody is saying this is not easy.
Then you know what? I agree with you. I was thinking of some, you know what? When we get to the pie, I promise you the pie is going to be easy.
Are you serious?
I didn't think it was easy either, but hey, I'm loving it.
I mean, we got dressing, we got green beans. Next week we got our Cornish hens coming up. This is super easy.
They said they can't keep up.
So,
Okay, well, if you
are
need
we,
me to slow
are
down,
we
I will
still, are
happily
we, look,
slow
are we
down.
still on the bourbon stage? Is that where we still at?
Right. You cannot.
We just finished the margarita.
You cannot get hung up on the drink. John. I know that voice.
We got
That is my loving cousin.
Next time we'll just do a drink 101.
Right. There you go. Maybe that's what we gotta do. We
You
just
know we the slow class.
What is cotton?
Do I need to cook it? Does it smell like it needs to be cooked?
You see, yeah. Thank you. So you want to just drain the hot water off of
Okay.
these? And like I said, we're gonna put them right into the ice bath.
So now we're putting our green beans in their ice bath. Okay.
That's easy. that is as easy as it gets. So once that cools down a little bit, we'll go ahead and throw that in there.
So
Wow.
what are we doing with these onions that I cut? I almost cut my fingers off.
At the last minute, we're gonna incorporate the onions with our dressing
Okay.
and the green beans.
Okay.
And it'll be really, really nice. We can get us a fork and taste some.
So while the green beans are taking this ice bath, have everyone caught up?
Yeah, where are we at? Where is everyone at?
We put the green beans in the pot.
They putting the green beans in the pot.
So
I don't think they're green.
They're putting the green beans in the pot. Careful when you dealing with poultry.
So do you think it's a good rule of thumb to keep gloves in your kitchen?
Absolutely,
Okay, keep gloves.
absolutely. So if you could slide that board there
Okay.
over for me.
And we still need our onion. So you
Yeah,
have
we
something-
still need our onion.
Yeah, something. Okay, perfect.
Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna drain our green beans.
Okay.
You can pour those in there.
Yeah, I just put them on the stove.
And so just remind them that they just need to cook their green beans so they have a little bite.
Just
to
a
them.
little bite to them. Yeah, you don't want them to be totally limp, but you don't want to be super hard either, because they're gonna continue to cook a little bit once you add them into the mushrooms. You can go ahead and dump them right in. Now, green beans, tomatoes, they need salt. I know a
Okay.
lot of people don't want to cut back on salt.
Put salt in them?
Yeah, but you can sprinkle a little salt in there. You can get a little bit more.
Yeah, some of the ice
There you
accidentally
go.
fell in there.
That's
okay.
fine. That's just a little more.
Okay. What about pepper? Do you need pepper too?
Yep. Go ahead with some pepper.
So don't forget your salt and pepper and your green
Right.
beans.
So, does anybody have their green beans out of the water? Just cook it. Okay. What's she saying?
That's 3 times.
What was the question? Did we miss your question? I'm sorry.
So she didn't cut the ends off the string beans before she put them in there. So can she cut them after?
You can cut them after. That's fine.
That's fine, yeah.
That's,
That's a new dish. Yeah.
that's,
That's a new dish.
that's not a big deal at all. But you kind of want to try to make sure that you dress your green beans beforehand, because it's just a hassle. I mean, now you got to deal with a hot green bean. So, but give them the ice bath, cut the ends off, cut them down the middle, and
They said you need to be specific.
well, that detail was in the instructions that was sent out to cut the green beans. But that's okay. It's the holidays. It's no pressure, no stress.
Thanksgiving made
You
easy.
just enjoy your dinner. What's that?
Reading is fundamental.
It was on the instructions. So what was,
It's the drinks.
So we should next time end with the drink.
right? Maybe the next time.
Next
we'll just
time we'll end with the drink.
Yeah.
We'll end with the drinks next time.
So, to the person who didn't cut the green beans, happy holidays.
We'll drink to you.
We're gonna give you some time to cut your green beans. We're right to the green beans now.
So we're gonna actually put the vinaigrette while it's cooking.
Yep. We're about to shut this off.
So we mix it up.
Yep. Thank you very much. Yeah, we don't need those. Okay.
Okay.
And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna throw our onions in right at the last minute here.
So we just put the vinaigrette in the green beans,
Mm-hmm.
and now we add the onions, and then we need to cut it off, take it off the line.
We're gonna let it cook just a couple of minutes.
He's getting fancy back here flipping stuff. He's getting fancy on us.
And the residual heat will take it the rest of the way for you. And you are all set there. Okay, so what we're gonna do is a little poultry butchery 101.
Perfect.
It's not difficult
Recording in progress.
at all.
I think it's Sam.
Let me come over there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I'm gonna do them both, and then I'll give it to you. So she is recording it?
Yeah, it just started recording. So these look like little baby chickens.
That's basically what they are. I mean, but Cornish hens, they can be really, really tender. I mean, they cook really, really quickly. So what you can do with any poultry, even a turkey, is you can do what's called spatchcocking it, which is removing the backbone from it. You can feel right along the spine, and you can feel both sides of it, and you just cut that out. Once you cut it out, you can butterfly it, and you can cook it like that. Or what you can do is, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it along the breastplate, and we're gonna make 4 servings out of these
Okay.
two.
So did you guys hear? He's gonna spatchcock it and butter. What was the second part of it?
We're gonna zoom in on this. She's doing it.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is
It's right on the, it's right on the Cornish hen.
Good.
we're gonna go
Can
right.
you tell him again what you just told me?
The process is called spatchcocking a bird. So what you do is you go right along the spine, both sides of the backbone, and you and you cut it out.
I'm glad I ain't the only one
Hey.
thinking that.
So okay, we're gonna cut the bird in half.
Yeah, I like it better. I like it better. Just cut it in half.
We're gonna remove the backbone from the bird. So when you feel right along here, you can feel that right
Okay.
there. You'll feel the backbone.
Okay.
And what you want to do is you want to cut on both sides of it. If anyone following along during this time, you want to make sure that your skillet is getting hot.
So we actually have a knife and scissors. So are you gonna use the scissors or something?
Well, on the instructions, I told people that they could either use a knife or shears. It's
Okay.
easy to do with the shears. Some people are more comfortable with the shears.
So I'm just gonna.
Yep, you just cut right down. Yep, that's it. And then with the knife, what's that? With the knife, you just
It
the same
sounds
thing.
hor- it
You
sounds
go
horrible.
right down the side, back of it, like that, on one side, and then you go right down the other side, and it comes right out.
Okay.
And then you flip it over.
Okay. Flip it over after you take the
Yep.
backbone out.
And this backbone, anytime you do this to it, anytime you cut any chicken in half or any poultry at all, the backbone, the parts, you can use it to make your own stock at home. Some people discard it, but your vegetable ends and everything, when you're done with them, you throw them in the freezer. When you're done with this, you throw them in the freezer.
Okay.
You need chicken stock for chicken soup or something, you pull this out, throw that with your old vegetables, and it makes the best chicken stock in the world. No need to buy it. So once we get that together, what I'm gonna do now is I'm smashing down on the breastplate.
So make sure y'all smash down.
And then it just easily cuts after that. See, no problem.
Okay. I'm so sorry with the chicken. I hope it's not all over my face. How disgusting that was. Oh.
And that's like that, easy peasy.
Okay.
So now what we want to do is take a little bit of our oil.
Okay, and I'm gonna wash my hands.
Yep.
Perfect.
We want to take a little. You can go to that station there. We want to take a little bit of our oil, and rub the bird down so our seasoning would adhere to it. Now here you can use whatever your favorite seasoning is. Of course, I use Fox's Champion Chicken because that's just would be crazy if I'd used anything else. But you put the oil on, so we make sure that your spices adhere to it good. Your skillet should be nice and hot by now. And you just season both sides of it very liberally.
Travis, if they don't have any Fox seasoning, where can they get some at?
Oh, if you don't have any Fox seasoning, first of all, shame on you. But if you don't, you can go to foxcatering.com or walmart.com or amazon.com. And in April, you'll be able to go to your local Walmart, depending on your location, and purchase it directly at the store. Okay, so now... What? Oh,
She said, yeah, Eva's Home is on Amazon Smile.
oh yeah,
You
yep,
purchase on
yep,
there and connect it, you can make a donation.
yep.
My mom is holding up the lovely Fox
Yeah.
Champion Chicken rub.
Sean is showing the bottle of chicken rub.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you very much, cousin. So we want to put these like this, nice and uniform, and when they go down in the skillet, you want to put it down just like that. So the breast will get seared. You have the tip of the wing peeled back, and you have a lot of surface area that'll get seared. Put it down. That's the sound you want to hear. If you don't hear that sound, then your pan did not get hot enough.
So, Chef, you only put your Cornish hen on top of the stove?
No, you can. We're gonna put it in the oven after we sear it on the stove. And people ask, like, well, when do you flip it? The pan will let you know. The chicken will let you know because it'll release it. How are we on time? Oh, okay. Good. So. I will get that nice and seared. And like I said, you'll know when to take it out because you can pull it away from the pan easily. Let's go over here, wash my hands.
So I hope your home smell is good as this kitchen is smelling. It smells so good. Ooh, it smells good.
So what we're gonna do now is prepare to make our sauce. Borrow that board over there. So this sauce is a very simple sauce. It's a pan sauce that you make right inside the pan that you're cooking the bird in. And it is a double cranberry and thyme sauce. It's called a double cranberry and thyme sauce because you're using actual concentrated cranberry juice and dried cranberries. If you've never worked with thyme, it is a wonderful herb, very savory, and it's very easy to work with. You just take it, one of the stems, and you peel backwards like that.
Are we gonna need all of it?
We won't need it all, but
How
yeah,
much
we
you
can
want?
we can start peeling some off. Just a couple of sprigs will do. And you just peel that back. Like I said, I mean, you don't have to cut it up. You don't have to do anything else to it. It's gonna go right in the pan just like that. I'll check on our bird real quick.
It smells so good, Travis. Do you guys have your hen in the pan yet, or y'all still cutting?
Crickets.
No.
Oh man, that is really
That-
good.
that-
Yeah, because we got some already.
Okay.
Peeling green beans.
They still peeling green
They
beans.
still good, yeah, they don't look
Oh,
good.
that's small.
They said it don't look good.
Okay, so now what we're also going to make is once we start to build the sauce, we're going to make what's called a slurry, and it'll help thicken our sauce up.
So what is that cornstarch?
This is cornstarch. You can use
Okay.
regular flour. Now, the way when I was raised, the way you would make gravy or pan sauce or something like that is when you take the protein out, you would add the flour in,
Yeah.
you scrape the flour around a little bit.
Maybe a little oil on the
Yeah,
top,
but the trick to that is you have to make sure that when you add the liquid in, it has to be warm. So if you ever go to someone's house and you get that lumpy gravy,
Yeah.
that's because they took a thing of cold stock and put it into a hot pan with a bunch of flour.
Okay.
And a lot of times the flour won't even cook out. So if you use flour also, you want to make sure that you cook it out. Because you don't want a raw flour taste. That is just a horrible thing.
So
to
when
have.
you say cook it out, what does it exactly mean when you say cook it out?
You just like, you want the sauce to simmer for a little bit.
Okay.
And get rid of the taste of the flour.
Perfect.
Cornstarch cooks out a little bit faster and you need a little bit less. You need to do a sauce like we're doing now, about a tablespoon of the flour, about 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, a little bit of the liquid that you'll be actually adding,
Okay.
and you're all set to go.
Perfect.
Tony, do we have another bowl with the stock in it? Oh, it's up here. Okay. It should be a glass bowl with it in there. I'll see. Now, see, look at that, Don.
And you guys see that chicken? Yeah.
Where did that bowl magically appear from?
What
What
she
is
said?
that?
So where the bottom actually came from?
What'd she say?
Where did the bowl magically appear from?
That's our magic pantry hand.
So,
So now,
just so you guys can get a peek at it, that's pretty much what you want it to look like there.
Ooh, that looks great.
that looks so good. And it smells so good.
Video.
Okay, I'm gonna need some more. Can you fill this up with some stock for me? And what we're gonna do now, we're gonna transfer the birds to a sheet pan. We're not gonna put our pan in the oven, although you could actually stick root vegetables or something around in this and put it right in the oven, carrots or anything like that, and you can cook it just like that. But what we're gonna do, because we wanna make our sauce in the pan, is we're gonna remove the poultry from the pan, put it in the sheet pan, and then we're gonna build the sauce in our skillet. Let's put that on the way here. We're gonna deglaze our pan. All this, the seasonings, everything that's down in the bottom of the pan, that is deliciousness.
Okay.
You don't want to lose that. So you add your stock right to the bottom of it,
You know what kind of stock is it? Is that chicken stock?
chicken stock, yeah.
Okay. And it's called
And you want to roll your spoon around till you start to get that off the bottom. That is all flavor. Now, this is extremely hot.
Somebody
So
said,
what you
what do
want
we
to
do with
do?
the onion?
What's that?
Somebody said, what do we do with the onion? They took us back to the red onion.
They put the red.
The onion went in the green
Yeah,
beans.
the red onion went on top of your green beans.
Yeah, we are going to make this drink last next year. The drink will not be
Yeah,
fun.
the onions. Well, can they just throw the onions
Yeah,
with
you
the
can-
chicken?
You can actually throw the red onion in raw on top of your green beans if you
Yeah.
like, because red onions have a really nice bite.
Yeah.
The green beans and the tomatoes and mushrooms are warm, so they're gonna give them a little bit of lose some of that texture, but they're gonna keep the bite to them. So you don't want to don't want to put them in like after you've taken them out and put them in a bowl. Like I forgot about the onions and throw them on top. You don't want to do that. But as long as you were still on the stove top, you can go ahead and add it. No big deal. So what we're doing here is we're bringing this up to a simmer.
Okay.
Once we start to add the other ingredients, we're gonna bring the temperature down some. Because a lot of times when you add in different liquids like this and building a sauce, what'll happen if it gets too hot, it'll break. So you ever see a sauce or something that looks oily on one part, it's because it's broken, the emulsification has failed, and you're no longer a nice sauce.
Okay.
So we add a simmer here now. We're gonna take a little bit of our liquid.
So what kind of liquid is that?
We have a sparkling white grape juice, and we have concentrated cranberry juice. We're gonna put that inside, just a little bit of it, and we're gonna make that slurry. So what you want to do, you want to get a consistency just short of paste. I mean, you want it liquid, but you don't want it like water. See how that's a little watery, but not too much, because you don't want it super thick, because cornstarch and flour will thicken up something so quick, and you're like, I didn't put that much in it. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go ahead and put our dried cranberries in.
Want me to mix it up while you put this stuff in?
Yes, you can. Yep. And these are dried cranberries, so when you put them in the liquid, they'll hydrate. They'll plump up a little bit, come back to life a little bit, and they'll have a nice little bite to them. That's perfect. And then we're gonna add our concentrated cranberry juice.
So dried cranberries and concentrated cranberry juice.
Mm-hmm. And as you see, it's no longer boiling. I want to bring it down some. Add the rest of our white cranberry that we made the slurry with.
Okay. So
Bring
it's
that all
white-
together.
It's white cranberry juice?
Yep. Well, no, that's the sparkling white grape.
Okay, okay.
That gives it just a nice little sweetness, but not too sweet. It doesn't make it like tart. Oh, there's a bottle right there. So it's just white grape juice. You get it at Kroger's, wherever. It's not champagne. It's usually what people get for their kids on the holidays, so they can feel like they're having champagne. Add our thyme in, and we're gonna check on our dressing again. Should be ready to come out. Our dressing has set up nicely. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, it smells delicious. We'll let our burgers go a little bit more. And while that's coming together, what we're gonna do now is add our slurry into it. And I'm just gonna whisk this right in, and it'll start to tighten up for us. You see immediately,
It's starting to thicken up.
yeah. And see, if I was adding flour, that would immediately have to cook all the way out. But with the cornstarch, it just needs a little bit. You see, I've turned the heat off of it,
Yeah.
and it is nice and thick. We're gonna add a little salt and pepper to that. And the pepper. Pull that off of the heat. Add a little bit more stock to it. Can I see that stock again?
So are you guys making your, it's just called, what is it called again we're making?
This is a double cranberry thyme sauce.
So a double cranberry thyme
Thyme
sauce.
sauce.
And we're gonna drizzle this over the Cornish hen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, we're gonna add just a little bit more of that stock in there, loosen it up.
And if
If
your
you're-
sauce is too thick, you
You
can add a
can
little.
just add a little stock. The same with gravy. Whenever on the holidays, you want to keep plenty of stock on hand at all times. There. That's what we want. Yeah, give that a try. the one, the cranberries. Very nice.
So you gotta taste it, see what it tastes like. It's good.
That's
It's good.
it's different too, isn't it?
It's good. It's good.
You get a bit. You know what it's like? You know how when you make a Thanksgiving plate and you put your dressing and your gravy on there and then your cranberry sauce,
That's what it tastes
and
like,
then
yeah.
you by accident mix some of it together.
No, it's not accident for me. I'm mixing it all together.
Right.
It's not by
It's
accident.
got that. That's the taste that
Yeah.
you're looking for.
So with that, you don't even need cranberry sauce.
Exactly. That's the whole
Perfect.
purpose. That's the exact purpose.
I love it.
So
So are you guys ready to make your sweet potato pie? Can I get a head nod? Can I get a thumbs up? Are you sleepy like me? Or you just need another drink?
They got
They got the thumbs
They
up?
got their potatoes, baby.
They got their potatoes? Awesome, awesome. So here's my potatoes. Normally what I do is I actually like to go to the farmer's market and get my potatoes. A lot of times the potatoes are gonna be local, they're gonna be fresh, they're gonna be sweeter than the grocery store. Most grocery stores, they're gonna ship your potatoes in, probably from across country. They're gonna be dried out and usually they're not sweet. So you're gonna have 2 medium potatoes. You're gonna have a stick of melted butter. You need 2 eggs. So what I'm gonna use today is my Georgia sweet potatoes dessert blend. This is a dessert blend that Travis and I have created. You also can get this on Amazon. But if you don't have this, just go grab the nutmeg, cinnamon, and vanilla. And so I'll give you a few minutes if you don't have it to make sure you go run to your pantry and grab that. And let me know when you're ready to roll. I promise you, this is gonna be a sweet potato pie made easy. So awesome. Now we ready? So you're gonna put your 2 peeled potatoes in your bowl. You're gonna add your stick of melted butter. You're gonna actually add a cup of sugar. Okay, real simple. Then, if you have your dessert blend, you're gonna add a tablespoon of your dessert blend, or you're gonna add a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of nutmeg, and a teaspoon of vanilla.
the dessert blend just makes it so much simpler. See, that's kind of a cheap move to make yours more simple because we simplified it already.
Hey, you know what? After what we just learned from you, they need something real simple and another drink. Okay, so it's okay. So at this point, you should have put your potato, your stick of butter, your cup of sugar, and I use white sugar. I know some people use brown sugar, but we use just white granulated sugar. And then you're gonna put a tablespoon of your dessert blend, or you're going to do a teaspoon of cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. So since you don't put me to work, Travis, I'm gonna let you mix this up.
Okay, all right. So we just mixing it till it's what
Nice and
consistency?
creamy. It's nice and creamy.
Nice and creamy.
Actually, add your sugar.
Did I add my sugar?
You actually add the sugar.
So let me tell you, here's the funny thing. And so I'm gonna let my YouTube people know this too. Actually, I forgot to bring my sugar out, but I need you to put sugar in yours. Put a cup of sugar.
We
See, you
got-
weren't supposed to see that. You weren't supposed to see
We
that.
got some-
So y'all.
Tony,
I try to play
can
that
you
off.
grab us some sugar out the pantry?
I try to play that off.
That's pretty good.
I'm trying to see, you know what, that let me know you're paying attention. But yes, please add your cup of sugar. When I was doing my prep today, what I noticed, I'm like, I got everything on this table but sugar. So yeah, so Tony's gonna run and get me a cup of sugar to add in here. Y'all own it. And then we'll have Travis just mix the sugar on in there. But I will tell y'all the key of making a great sweet potato pie is going to be do not boil your sweet potatoes, do not steam your sweet potatoes, because you actually boil all the flavor out. You wash your sweet potatoes, wrap them in aluminum foil, and you're gonna bake them until the caramelized sugar oozes out of your potatoes. That's how you know that your potatoes are gonna be ready, because that's how you're gonna contain all of those natural flavors. It enhances the sweetness. But when you boil your sweet potatoes, when you steam them, you're just steaming all those flavors out. If you can, do not use canned yams or sweet potatoes because you're losing all the flavors. So perfect. Travis, the one that got me the cup. Perfect. So we're going to add, actually, Travis, a cup of sugar.
Yep, this is a third of a cup, so we're going to add 3 of these.
And I just, while you mix it, I just mix it on in here. That is so funny.
And there we go.
I was wondering.
No.
So I was wondering.
And we're all set. That's pretty good.
Sugar's in there. Okay, now you're gonna add your 2 eggs.
Was that the whole egg?
Yep, the whole egg, yes. We need that good old fat in there. Yep. And actually, this mixture will make actual 2 pies. So if you only have 1 pie shell pre-baked tonight, just put the rest of it in a freezer bag and freeze it, and you can pull it out later and use it at a later date.
So how long will it stay in the freezer?
You know what? Sometimes I can keep mine in there for like 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you just put it in a Ziploc bag, or do you double bag it or
I've
anything?
actually put it in just a regular Ziploc bag.
Okay.
Yep, and I freeze it. Just a regular Ziploc freezer bag. Yep. And just make sure you get it mixed in there really, really good. And then I really like vanilla. So even though we use pure vanilla bean in our dessert blend, I always just add just a teaspoon of vanilla. Because I just love vanilla. And we use pure vanilla. That's one of the things we use is real butter and pure vanilla. We use stuff that your granny would make. Your granny wasn't using no margarine. Your granny wasn't using, I can't believe it's not butter or whatever it's called. But your granny was using pure vanilla. So sometimes it's worth paying that extra money to get higher quality products. So I promise you, you're gonna taste the difference.
But you know we trying to live a little bit longer than Granny.
That's all right, but you know what? But you know what? But here's what I'm gonna say to you though. Everything's in moderation now. Look, everything's in moderation.
It's not like you're eating sweet potato pie.
So
every
you're
week.
not eating this sweet potato. You're not eating that sweet potato pie with real butter every day. So so if you're gonna treat yourself to an old-fashioned sweet potato pie, you want the real deal. You want the good stuff. So yeah. So when you make your pie, get that real butter, girl, and that pure vanilla.
And she just cutting up. She know our family only use butter.
That's all right, but I mean, hey. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to fill our pie pan.
How high do you fill up the pan?
I fill it all the way up to the top, to the rim.
Okay.
And so another thing too, like the stores have these cute little like 3-inch tart pans you could get, make the perfect little small pies. So so you can use this mixture to probably make about, I would say probably about 20 of the little bitty mini 3-inch pies. This mixture will make at least 2 of your 9-inch traditional pie shells. It'll make at least 1 of your 9-inch deep dish. So we're just gonna fill it up. Try to make it a little more prettier than what it's looking like. And I fill mine all the way up, but then I try to even it out, just because if you put too much mixture in the middle and you don't even it out, a lot of times what'll happen is once your pies are baking, it'll start cracking around the edges, but the middle a lot of times might not always be all the way done. And another trick about baking sweet potato pies is you have to let them sit. You have to let them sit for a couple hours. It's really hard to bake a sweet potato pie and take it out of the oven and start cutting on it. Just because, especially when you use real butter, because the pie has to set. So is everybody's pie already filled? I promise y'all, mine was going to be easy. Look at that. So now we're gonna put this in the oven, and then I'm gonna pull one out and show you what it should look like when it comes out. So we're gonna put this in the oven. Your wonderful pie should look like. So, I'll put it right here.